Hello everyone, it's EVM. This is going to be a response video to the video called Why Are You Dealing with Pedophiles, Transphobic, and Homophobic People. That's made on August 7th of this year. And the comic we're going to be responding to is this. I'm black bisexual man, and I'm tired of you white people complaining about discrimination against white women, against white trans being mortalized. I can't say that word for a reason. I have a hard time saying it. You white privileged people think that you are the victims because you want to take away the struggles of black people. I don't. This is what I said. I don't think that way at all. Assuming that I do just that, and plus I mix sense, my dad's black and my mom is white. Yeah. I understand the struggles y'all go through, and I'm not happy with how the government handles people of color and people with disabilities. I'm trying my best to make others feel safe and comfortable, respected and supported without the fear of government. Of judgment. And the fact that, that people who want to comment that want to be like, yeah, that people like me, my dad's black, as I said, my mom's white, so I'm mixed with other race, with other ethnicities. Stuff like that. And fun fact about me, I am a autistic woman, meaning I am a trans woman on the autism spectrum. And what I have not talked about enough is what people like me go through when dealing with philanthropy. I'm not saying this not from experience, but from how people like me have been handled. Because when you really think about this, right? Imagine you're someone on the autism spectrum for a second. And then you're just going about your day, going grocery shopping, and then a bunch of people starting to make fun of you for that, And then you start trying your best to ignoring, but then trying to walk away, but then they keep walking towards you, being loud and loud and loud to the point where you just can't handle it anymore. You get overwhelmed and frustrated and pissed off to the point where you just break. And where you're like, where you get mad, yell, and shout, and then the store or whatever it takes place, has to call police. And then, you're like trying to come down, but he's after going, "Put hands on the ground!" And having their guns out, pointing directly at you. Someone who is autistic, who is very, very scared of police officers, and don't ever want to deal with something like that in my life. Period at all. Like, you have to realize that, it's scary dealing with police officers as a, mixed autistic trans woman. That makes it worse for me as well. Because then they're gonna put me in a jail cell based on my birth sex, because I haven't changed my gender marker yet. And they're gonna put me in a cell with a bunch of men. And that makes it 10 times, makes it 4 to 5 to 6 to 7 to 10 times worse for me or someone like me. Because then they're gonna try to, have sex with me, possibly punch me, kill me, do all this horrible stuff that I don't ever want to, anyone to deal with at all. And to be assaulted, sexually assaulted in jail because of their gender that they identify as. And based on sexuality and also disabilities as well. Because I'm a 22-year-old autistic trans woman. I'm high functioning autism. And people coming down what this person said. I'm sorry that you feel that way about white people, but I'm not white. I might look white, but I'm not. I'm mixed. I don't say the N-word. I did make a video 2-3 years ago saying sorry for saying the N-word on Xbox to a minor, but like, I apologized and said I'm sorry and owned up to it, and not done it since. And I've been dealing with people on Xbox who are pedophiles, creeps, homophobic, transphobic, sexist, and ableist people. And people who don't believe me when I say I'm black and I'm mixed. And that, that I shouldn't, exist at all. And that that I'm lying. But I'm being honest here. I wish that we didn't discriminate against anyone at all. Period. Because when it comes down to discrimination, it causes people to feel anxiety, stressed, depressed, and unsafe. They just feel like they have nowhere else to go. And there is so much hate because of who they are. For being trans, being part of the LGBTQIA+ community, for being Japanese, Asian, Jewish, Black, mixed of the two, or mixed of, like, I don't know, everything, I don't know. And that we make fun of how you look, and food you eat, how you dress, and how you sound, how you walk, how you act, pretend like your mannerisms. They're being made fun of for that. And I don't agree with that type of lifestyle to make fun of people who they are. On this channel, I try my best to be honest about what's going on in the world. And I cannot talk about every single issue there is in the world. I just can't. I just can't. Because that would ruin my mental health. And also, it's just not possible for me to do. It's just not. Because how can I talk about something I've not experienced in my life? And that I'm not experiencing hate from police officers. But like, I know that police officers aren't trained to deal with people on the autism spectrum. But they're not. And the fact that I feel like people who only watch a snippet of that video and only listen to the part they care about and didn't listen to the whole video missed the point. I'm talking about my point of view of what I dealt with over the years on Xbox and dealing with people who are pedophiles, xenophobia, who are pedophiles, homophobic, transphobic, sexist, ableist, towards me and towards the LGBTQI+ community and people on autistic spectrum and people who are Down syndrome, and people who just have disabilities in general, and people who make fun of people having mental disorders and mental illness. They're thinking that's okay to make fun of people who are like that. And I don't agree with making fun of anyone dealing with stuff like mental illness or mental disorders and health issues, mental health issues, health issues, or based on their gender identity, sexuality, disabilities, race, or whatever. We should be trying to find ground, aka respect one another, because we've done amazing things over the years as minority groups. Like Martin Luther King Jr. When I was younger, me and my family went down to Alabama to go to walk down on the bridge that Martin Luther King Jr. marched on for his civil rights movement. Then Black African Americans didn't have the right to go to schools. If the white people go to use the bathroom, white people to go to the same school, white people go to on the bus, white people will go on use the same drinking fountains, white people are able to use and have equal rights all together. If it wasn't for him and many, many others fighting for black lives, we wouldn't be where we are today. For black African Americans to be able to go to schools and make it safer for children to feel safe in this. And I want to talk about something that is quite, sad. Because I've not talked about this in any video at all just yet. And I want to talk about this in this video. So, I made this 4 days ago. I said this. It looks like the U.S. Department of Education is removing data on trans and non-binary kids who are getting bullied in schools, and excluding gender identity from its definition of sexual assault and rape. The Department of Education for Civil Rights said that while I can talk, determined that it outweighed its benefits. Then this is what it said here. I don't like this one bit, since it makes going to school for trans and non-binary kids to feel unsafe and unprotected in the school, and they are getting bullied. All we can do now is keep on fighting for the trans and non-binary kids, the truth so that they and everyone in the LGBTQIA plus community can feel safe in their school. And that I wish they didn't do that for one, and I wish wasn't a thing. Because for one, if it comes down to it, it's something that bothers me. When stuff like that makes me annoyed and upset and sad for trans kids, people who are non-binary, agender, and they're fluid, people underneath the trans umbrella, pretty much. And it makes it feel unsafe for them. And so then when you report it to, hey, I'm getting bullied for my gender identity, the schools can't do anything about it. And then they probably do something about it, but then be like, nope, can't do anything about it. And then they'd be left hopeless, feel like they have nowhere to go, and feel like school is unsafe. And it makes kids who are LGBTQIA plus feel unsafe and unprotected. And that's why I make these videos. This is why I make these videos. It's because I don't like what's going on in the world when it comes to discrimination against anyone. Period. This is my way of speaking up against the hate. I know it's online. I know I probably won't do anything. But I just want this community to know that I'm there for I hear you, and that I respect you for your benefits. Yes. Hold on. Beep boop, beep boop, beep boop, dot 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 dot. I'm thinking here. For you all helping make this world a better place. By planting trees or fighting for rights, being allied towards the LGBTQI plus community, being there for people on the autism spectrum, being a teacher, for being someone that is a teacher for someone that's autistic, and just being just a nice person and being open-minded and realizing other people struggle as well. And that's not easy to deal with daily life as someone that's part of any minority group, for that matter. And I want to talk about something as well. I've been still dealing with this spider bite, this reckless spider bite for a while. Now. And that, 4 months now. I'm still doing things that have to do to take care of it. And yeah, I'm healthy at that point. Once this is gone, then I'll probably make exercise videos, but right now I'm taking it easy. And I don't know, I might not do exercise videos anymore, who knows. But that's another video to talk about. I want to say that in the video, that the video is mostly talk about my experience dealing with pedophiles, homophobic and transphobic people, and sexist people, and ableist people as well, in my own experience. But this video is a response to that video I made. Because I feel like when, I feel like I missed a certain point of something I didn't talk about enough in the video, people end up being commenting me like, oh, you missed this, or I'm happy because that makes me stay on my feet and on my toes, whatever, and make me be like, you know what? For next video, I'm gonna do it better, and you know, talk about more of it in the next one. So I made a community post saying this, saying this. The next video will be a response video on this video. Since we didn't talk about hate against the other minority groups, next video will talk about racism, ableist, sexism, transphobic, and homophobia. I want to say thank you for keeping me on my toes when making these videos and helping me know when I missed anything. But I mean it, because I'm an honest person. Like, I don't want anyone to feel unsafe or treated like shit because of their gender identity, sexuality, ethnicity, what foods they eat, how they dress, how they sound, how they act with their mannerism. Because discrimination doesn't do anyone good. And when we blame another minority group, it causes issues than it does fixing them. It causes more issues than it does fixing them. Blaming another race doesn't fix anything. What's blaming them? I know people who, I'm not saying, oh, I've done bad stuff, now we should agree with them. No. But like, not everyone in that race or ethnicity is bad people. Because then you build giving people who are white be like, yeah, black people are bad because they rob or because blah. Then they say the bad stuff about, people who are Japanese or Asian. And it goes back and forth and goes in a circle over and over and over again. It doesn't fix. And when something goes in a circle like this, it doesn't get fixed. It doesn't get resolved. It causes more issues and chaos and destruction. And that's something that I want you all to take away from this video. Is that in that video, we're talking about my experience from dealing with transphobia, homophobia, people ableist, sexist, towards people like me. But this video is more of a general, I'm sorry I didn't talk about this in the video, but that video was for that topic alone. So I try to say one topic at a time in these videos, because I want to get better at that. These types of videos. And that, I'm sorry for not talking about certain things in that video. The video already was 30 minutes long. And that, yeah. Again, like, I'm trying my best over here. I'm trying my best to make this video as educational and yet entertaining for you all as possible. And also making the best thumbnails I can possibly make. Okay? And that by hating someone like me, it doesn't do me any good. When I feel stress and anxiety to make videos all because of the hate that it gets. I understand because I'm a trans woman that it looks right. I'm mixed. And that I'm telling the truth. You all knew my mom, knew my sisters and my brother. They were able to be like, yeah, you agree on that. 100%. And that I'm as honest, loyal, respectful, supportive trans woman I feel like you can meet. Because I don't want to harm anyone, make anyone feel unsafe, uncared for, anxiety, depressed, scared, lonely. Because when I was younger, I went on my own way to look up on YouTube when I was in elementary school, do I mind you, I looked at people with different disabilities to learn how to respect them, how to to see them as a person. I'm saying back then, before I watched those videos, I didn't respect them. I didn't know there's so many people with different disabilities until I watched those videos. And it made me realize how different and unique each person is and have their own stories to tell in their lives. And when we only focus on the negatives all the time, than the positives. Doesn't do us any good. It makes us look bad than good. I mean, we focus on, oh, you see stuff like, oh, what's in your pants? Have a dick or a vagina to someone that's trans, or you think you might be trans, or non-binary, or agender, or the LGBTQIA plus community, or just be sexist towards women and men just because, and kids also just because, you will feel a need to. That's not okay. Those people need to seek help, go to therapy, and realize this is not a good thing. It's mental life 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 times worse than it has to be. And that's something that I want you all to take away from this video. Is that sometimes asking for help and realizing that the hate doesn't do us any good. Because when you hate on people like me for speaking up against something, it causes more destruction and chaos than it does fixing. Think about it. You don't know me personally. I know that the internet is gonna be this toxic place and world for will be. I 100% understand. I do. But like, when you just comment down on someone's video, only has 749 subscribers. Let me do a fact check on that real quick. I mean 759 subscribers. My bad. It doesn't do us any good, really, or anyone good, because I'm doing this because I love making videos. I love entertaining, love educating people, and spreading support and awareness on stuff I care about the most. Because when I learn about stuff going on in the world that bothers me, or when I deal with, transphobia, homophobia, ableist, sexist, and creepy people, I feel a need to talk about it in the video. Get it off my chest, get it off of my mind. And that, just to make people out there feel seen, supported, respected, heard. I feel like they're not alone. And it makes me feel less alone when I make those videos. And that I'm trying my best to make the best video and entertain videos. And I don't want to just only have mic music in the background and only have like me talking and that's it. It can be boring. But like, once you really understand what the video is about and fully watch the video, you realize I'm this woman, trans woman, this autistic trans woman that just wants to care for people, love people, and hear them out. With his always being like, oh my god, fuck you, you're the top of all lungs. All the time. That doesn't do us any good. That's what I had to deal with when I used to play Brawlhalla all the time. I stopped playing it. I don't even pay attention to the community anymore. I stopped playing it. I came out to the game a couple of days ago. Not gonna lie, or like a week ago. Played it for one day. And didn't have any fun. I never played it again. I've uninstalled. I put all my data in the game. I'm done with it. The community is too toxic, too much for me. I'm done. The only games I play is Batman, Minecraft, and any other chill game I enjoy playing. Or I go downstairs to watch movies I enjoy. And eat like food or watch movies with my sisters, my family. Or like play board games with my family. I'm not someone that's going out of her way, or ever got her own way, to break laws, to harass, to be a pedophile, be sexist, homophobic, transphobic, racist, or anything that's bad. I will never become that person. Period. That is a promise. I will never, ever fucking... I was raised to be a better person. I was raised to apologize and to own up to my mistakes when I make them. My mom raised me in a way where if I lie, if I'm ever rude, if I'm ever racist, homophobic, transphobic, sexist, she will punish me and ground me. And not be happy. And that's a fact. Plus, when I was younger, I kept to myself. I didn't really have much friends in the neighborhood, really. I kept to myself. When I was younger, in elementary, middle school, even high school, I didn't really have that many friends I could really hang out with outside of school. But during that time, I didn't really have a cell phone. Because when I was younger, I used to break iPads, tablets because I was getting mad and my anger issue. I had anger issues pretty much. And I didn't know how to really deal with them. I do now. But like, when I was younger, it's very difficult for me to really calm down and to relax. And it's something that was really difficult during that time. Because what I don't really talk about is the fact that I talk about a little bit, but not a lot. Except that when I was younger, imagine, my brother slept on the bottom bunk, I slept on the top bunk. He grabbed me from the top bunk and dragged me from that all the downstairs. In the house where he used to live in. And I used to like put his face next to mine and be like this. Be like, you did this today? Pretend this is him. You did this? Kill your mom again? I'm grounded. Give me your Xbox. And then, you know what he would do? He'd bring out, Xbox. But then, after we're done sleeping here, so that, no phantoms can spawn. I won't talk about this more. Then, this is, this is trailer, so like, don't pretend. And then, like, to pretend, like, I'm putting, like, pretend this is, like, an Xbox, right? You put it right there, and be like, if you don't listen and yell at your mom again, I'm gonna break your Xbox with a chainsaw and threatening to break it. But I'd be like a better person. Back then I didn't know I was trans woman. That's why I'm using the term person. And about line, and he would. And I remember when I was younger, I was grounded. I wasn't on an Xbox, so when I was playing on an Xbox in front room when I got home from work drunk, he broke. This is an Xbox controller, by the way. But like, he went like this. It was an Xbox controller, do I mind you? It was a Xbox controller. And he broke it because how mad and pissed he was. He sneaking on the Xbox. I wasn't supposed to do that, but like what he did was dumb. And also, one time he got so mad at me, I don't really know exactly what he was mad about. He tossed my calculator I needed for school, for high school by the way, and in the backyard, and it broke. And we couldn't find any of the other buttons. I didn't even have any calculator to really use in school. Until we have to buy a new one. He wasn't as good. His good moments, yes. But as soon as he was in the house, I didn't feel safe enough to feel like I could be my full authentic self. It was only with me and my sisters and my brother. I could feel like I could be my full authentic self. I allow my sisters to paint my nails, do my makeup, and I like to wear like the clothes stuff like that. And at the time, I didn't have a whole lot of feminine clothes. And I felt free, happy, for myself. And as soon as my stepdad was home, I just felt more stressed, anxiety inducing. And when he was on his road trips at work. And he never really made the house feel safe. At first for a good while, he didn't do that until like things just went downhill. There's something about me that you didn't really know, that I dealt with so much sick. One time at daycare, I was thrown by, one of the staff. I don't remember exactly what I did. I don't. Like one time, like, because I noticed that I did something wrong, that the staff had to throw me across the room. This is what my siblings said would happen. I don't know if it's true or not, but like, I'm taught by daycare staff. And, reason I'm talking about it now, because I'll talk about the fact that I dealt with a lot of shit. I dealt with, depression, anxiety, dysphoria. And I feel like I'm myself in the past. You know? And fun fact, it's been 2 years and 11 months on HOT for me. And that's something I'm happy about. That when I look myself in the mirror, I can finally see my full authentic selves. Myself in the mirror and be like, who is that sexy young woman in the mirror? Me. I'm that sexy, beautiful young woman in the mirror. And at times, it makes me feel so happy. And when we only focus on the hate, because of people like me who dealt with so much abuse, verbal abuse, and then online, sexual abuse, verbal abuse online also. Then I got doxxed twice by the Brawler community. And then got my account stolen, and a video where the person doxed me in that video. I should have censored that part. I really should have. It's a fact that, all the hate causes people to do bad stuff. And that's why this is why I make videos like this in the first place. So people can know what I've been through in life. So that people can realize I'm not an evil person trying to take away any person's rights. Why do I want to do that? The only thing I really want, this is what I want in life. This is what I wish life was like. It's just in my wildest dreams. And I know it would never happen. If it could. If. If. I'm not nearly friends from that movie. But just. If. But if. I just wish people would want hateful. Want pedophiles. Transphobic. Homophobic. Ableist. Sexist. Anything to do with hate. In general. But that's not how life was like would do with any hate at all. I feel like the world would be a lot better place. And my mom said this. She wished that the LGBTQIA plus community didn't have to exist. And here's why. This is coming from my mom, who's a big advocate towards the LGBTQIA plus community for Black Lives Matter, for like lots of stuff. And she wishes this. She wished that we just be like, hey, I'm trans, or hey, I want to go by this name, and people could be like, oh, okay, and move on with the day. Like, hey, my name is this, I need to set the pronouns, and be out of the way, and be able to wear any clothes they want without no fear. That'd be like, oh, but this TV show is making kids trans, and turn them gay. No. People who are born LGBTQIA plus are born that way. I was born trans. I wasn't forced into this. My mom didn't peer pressure me. My mom didn't be like, oh yeah, I want you to know the daughter, so I'm gonna, manipulate you to, become, mindwash you or whatever, to think that you're a woman. No. I didn't even know about the LGBTQI plus community when I was younger. I didn't even know anything about it. When my friends came out as a trans woman. That's when I really started to really think about my gender identity and then sexuality. Because I had trouble, using her preferred name and pronouns at first. Not because I was hateful, because I never heard about the trans community, about the whole LGBTQI plus community. But as I grew older and started doing more research on it, going to my first Pride parade, started doing more and more about the LGBTQI plus community, meeting people in that community, started to make me realize I'm not alone, that I suddenly feel fear being who I am. And that's something that I want to take away, I want you all to take away, that I dealt with someone's abuse, and that I don't want to take away anyone's rights. Why would I ever want that? Unless it's someone that, destroying the world and making people feel unsafe. You know, like, what? And I feel like, they shouldn't, have rights to be able to be that evil person and be able to, like, get help or, see what dude want. But I'm not willing to change, then, oh no. But either way, I'm not here to, take away anyone's rights at all. They're saying everyone, rights to be taken away. Based on their ethnicity, race, clothes you wear, how you sound, how you walk, who you man or your gender identity, sexuality, disabilities. I'll just talk about my thoughts and what comes out of what I want to talk about, in my opinion. And that's about it. Because I've been wanting, because I thought, you know what, I want to make this video to just clean the air, to make things. Hopefully this video cleared things up with y'all. Because, yeah. If you enjoy these videos, then do leave a like, subscribe. Good. Don't forget to join the Discord, Fluxer, Blue Sky. You can join any of those for every reason. Then you can all join our turn down in the comment section and in the community tab. Also, yeah. Thank you all for watching. This has been your girl Evie, and I catch you all in the next one. See ya.